Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars. I am back at my former home away from home. This is Sun Motors BMW, and today we're taking a look at BMW's first electric sedan. This is a 2022 BMW i4 M50. This is the top trim i4. There's a couple different trim levels. There's a 35, a 40, and a 50. And this is called the M50 because the brakes and suspension have been upgraded by M, which is BMW's performance division. Now this has an 83.9 kilowatt hour battery pack. This has 536 horsepower and 586 foot-pounds of torque. This thing will go 0 to 60 in about 3.3 seconds. So it's essentially an electric M3 rival. It has the great looks of the BMW 4 Series Grand Coupe. Lots of cool touches and updates on the interior. So let's talk about BMW i4. Talk about the styling of the i4, and I think this is a really good looking car. Now this car would compete with cars like the Tesla Model 3 Performance because it definitely has the performance to back up the numbers. I mean, 536 horsepower, and it's just about almost as fast as an M3, which is their twin turbo 6-cylinder performance car that's been around for a while. Now a couple ways you can denote that it's an electric car is BMW now does the blue rings around the roundels right there, and I thought this is where the windshield washer fluid gets put in, but it's not opening right now. But now this grille is what obviously the BMWs now do, the huge grills, but now this is completely shut. There are no shutters in there. It doesn't open at all, but it has a nice little design on it. There's a little bit of air can get in through there, and that's where the radar cruise control would be. But I love the look of these 4 Series headlights. Well, this is i4. Now BMW first came out with the i3 and the i8 many years ago. Those were hybrids, but now this is fully electric. It does have a motor on the front axle and the rear axle, so this is all-wheel drive. I mean, you almost need all-wheel drive to get that type of performance out of it, but I still think that BMW is doing a very good job with the design. Now the different wheels that you get really affect the range of the i4, and I think the range goes from about 220 to about 300 miles, and this is on the higher side. This is about 350 miles of range, which I just love the look of the sloped. The 4 Series is the sexier version of the 3 Series. Now there is no 3 Series electric yet. I don't know if that is in the pipework for BMW, but this is finished in the Alpine white. And one cool thing about the M50, which I'll show you in the back, is that they have these sort of bronze touches. Here, now if we go around to the back, yeah, the M50 is in sort of like, I think it is like that bronze color. Actually, no, I wonder if the top trim is, but look, there's the blue around there to make you know that it is an electric car. Now that is where the backup camera is. And I think some of them actually have this roundel pops out and sprays that to wash it off. But yeah, I love the sort of sweeping lines right there. I think BMW has done a good job of design. I don't think their lights are sort of as crazy as Audi has been doing. Mercedes, their electric cars are not anything crazy. Now I am going to do a review of that bad boy right there. That's the iX. Now that one has more controversial styling, but I really do think this is a good looking car. It has the performance, plus it's a hatchback, which we're going to open that up in a little bit. Now where your exhausts are going to be, there's sort of nice little subtle looking diffusers right there. I like the Alpine white contrasting with the black right there, but this is just a very good looking car. Now this is better looking than a Tesla Model 3 Performance for sure. Plus you have the sport tuned suspension of the M trim to go along. So I'm pretty sure people have said that this is a very fast, capable, performance car, but it just happens to be electric too. So all right, let's take a look at the trunk. All right, taking a look at the trunk, this is what a typical BMW key. I like the nice touch with the M colors right there. So let's double click on the trunk there. Oh, doesn't go up on its own, which is okay. Oh, that's funky. Okay, now this is a hatchback. So look at the added sort of practicality of this being a hatchback. Now you do have a fixed, cover right here. Fixed, but it comes off. But yeah, now there's decent amount of space here. Now here's the charging cables that come with the car. That is always a nice feature there. We're just gonna close that, put that back there. But yeah, if you are in the market for an electric car, plus you have a small family, you can fit lots of stuff back here. Now let's take a look at the charging port right there. Now there's the AC and DC. Now this does go up to level 2 charging right there. Open those up right there. There's your 2 chargers. I don't know off the top of my head how long it takes to charge, but I'd say typical time for an electric car. But yeah, I really dig the hatchback nature of this. Just gives you a little bit more practicality for the back. Plus you could, take trips to Home Depot, put stuff back there. Now let's take a look at the front where the engine would be, but it is not there. I'll show you. All right, now I just popped the hood. Now there's no front trunk storage here. Now there's nothing here. Usually electric cars have, the batteries down low underneath the vehicle, and you have front trunk storage here, but this does not have it at all. I don't know what's under there. Oh look, there's something under there. But I don't think you absolutely need the front space or a front trunk, because you do have decent space in the back, but it would have been nice to have something up here. I mean, there really is just an M badge, which I love the M badge look itself. So yeah, but this car has an 84 kilowatt hour battery, 3.3 seconds to 60, and I really am excited to check that out on the road. So now let's talk about the other highlight of the car, the interior. All right, we're gonna go on the interior now. I'm gonna hit the unlock button. Now these are sort of interesting door handles. You sort of put your hand up under and open up there. Lots of modern door handles have like a hoop or something you put your hand in, but in this one you go up. Now this is where the i4 really shines in my mind. I really love all the materials in here. This has the new updated screen, which goes the whole way across. There's a front screen in front of there, and this is your infotainment screen. There's a little post behind here to hold that up. But yeah, I really like the way BMW is going. I've always been a fan of this style of steering wheel. I'm gonna turn that down right there. But yeah, this has the updated iDrive system right here. Now there's the blue again. That is the theme of BMW electric cars. There's the blue around the roundel right there. There's the I badge right there. Now let's talk about this iDrive system. If you go to home, now there's a whole bunch of tiles that you can go forward through here. There's your navigation, but you can also click and hold, and you can get rid of some. Like I'll get rid of personal assistant. I mean, you can move them all around. Yeah, you can click and hold. I'll move that telephone around. I'll put that number 2. But yeah, that is just really cool. I like the screen is a very nice resolution, but there on the menu here, there is a lot of options. And I don't think I'd really be overwhelmed with this, because really you just need to deal with, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, your navigation, phone. I mean, all that other stuff you could save for a different time, but vehicle apps, personal assistant, there's a lot of stuff in here. But if we just go back to home, yeah, I really dig this screen a lot. Yeah, you can make that nav screen like super huge, and this is really nice resolution, very snappy, works just like any other phone. Now, if you go to put something in the nav screen, you can start typing on this little button right here. So if I put in stuff, that'll come up on the nav screen. But yeah, I like the way they've done this. Now, if I put my foot on the brake, and the car is essentially, now if you hear that, you hit the start button, it makes sort of a noise. Just listen. Yeah, I like that. Now this is the sort of new design of the gauges. That is your power percentage that you're using at any time. There's your speedometer right there. And this is sort of an evolution of how BMWs have done that for a while. I'm gonna close the door here just to get the air going, because it feels really nice in here. But yeah, the screen resolution is very nice. Let's see, you can go over a couple different things on the screen itself. Now if you touch this button on the screen right here, this comes up with a bunch of different stuff where you can personalize the main screen. You can do content. Let's go back. Go down, switch it to navigation, different stuff, a couple different things. I like how the miles per hour is front and center. There's your navigation. Now I don't think it's almost as customizable as Audi's virtual cockpit, but there's just your preferences either way. Now everything is on the screen here, including the climate controls, which we're going to turn the fan down a little bit. And these are sort of arranged in the same way. I mean, if you want to put your heated seat on, that is on the left and right, but in the middle is how far you want your air and where you want the air. And I almost wish they would have kept this controls down here, because down here you just have your volume, your track, your hazard lights, and your couple max defrost and that. But yeah, this carbon fiber trim looks fantastic. I'll never get sick of carbon fiber. It goes the whole way from the sort of pocket right here. I love that. I don't know if that's an extra trim, But yeah, the price of this thing is very competitive to a Model 3 Performance. I think this is on sale for about $69,000, which is a decent price, but you get a lot of, BMW, engineering to go along with it. And I would absolutely prefer this over a Tesla Model 3. I just think that the build quality for them is terrible. This seems very quality. I like the black interior. And this is not the full leather. This is what they call the Sensatech, which I don't even know what that is. Like I said when I reviewed that Audi Q4, that is really one of the only few, smaller electric SUVs in the market. And this is competitive with the Tesla Model 3, but that's really it. There's the Tesla Model 3. There's a couple other sedans, but sort of not on the same level as these two. So I'm proud of BMW for getting into this segment, and also that iX that we're gonna drive later today. That is one of the few, luxury upscale SUVs, that will compete with the Tesla Model X, the big Falcon door one. But that one's got some issues of its own that we will discuss later today. So this interior is quality. There's a spotted Lantify. I'm gonna kill him. This interior is very nice. I love what BMW has done with the big screens, and everybody does the big screens, so that's nothing new, but I just really like the layout, which is sort of tilted towards the driver, which is something BMW has always done since they did the E46 3 Series, which I've had a lot of seat time in because my dad had one and I had one before I had the Bronco. But yeah, I really like what they got going on in here. The new generation 3 Series I didn't love it, but this is another evolution of designs. I'm really digging it. Now let's check out the back seat. All right, let's take a look at the back seat of the i4. Now I do have the seat where I would drive this car, and wow, it is a little bit tight. If you have small kids, they would definitely fit back here. And you do lose a little bit of the head clearance because of the sloping roof, which is not the greatest. You still have the same nice materials. There's a nice look at the huge screen right there. That is pretty cool. Yeah, somebody like me, I'm 6 feet tall, and I have a couple inches here above my hat here, but this is decent. I don't think you'd want to do too many long trips back here with adults. A little bit cramped, but not terrible. I think this could be a nice car if you have 1 or 2 kids. They could fit all their stuff back here. Now there is an HVAC screen down there and some USB-B and C chargers, so pretty decent. I think the Tesla Model 3 might have a little bit more space in the back seat, but that car is doesn't have quite a sloping roof. But there's a lot to like for BMW's first electric sedan. All right, now this is going to wrap up my quick walk around of the 2022 BMW i4. Now this car has a lot going for it. Has the gorgeous BMW styling, has the electric performance, and it is essentially a BMW M3 competitor that is electric. 0 to 60 in 3.3, 536 horsepower. Lots of updated, evolutionary styling that the BMW 3 Series and 4 Series have gone through, the non-electric versions. But I like this a lot. I think I would buy this car over a Tesla Model 3 and the Polestar 2. That is another car that has similar styling, but this is just the best looking of the bunch by far. So if you are interested in an i4 like this, be sure to check out my buddies here at Sun Motors BMW in Mechanicsburg on the Carlisle Pike. They got a couple electric cars here. They've been doing pretty well. So now let's get this thing on the road and see if this drives like an electric M3 competitor. Now, if you like car reviews like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at GemmyD on Cars. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.